All right, Nick. Live for the top of the ninth. Wild comeback.
What
Wild.
a
We'll get into it, but obviously right now we're hoping and praying that we hold on here. This team needs this. They need it in a bad way. We can't be blowing saves in a situation like this.
well. Let's not bring that negative energy out here.
I didn't say we were going to. I just said we need it. I don't know how far I'm behind you, but I got a 2-2 count, and Diaz is towing the rubber.
We just got one out, baby.
Oh, no. I'm that far behind.
I'm
Okay, well,
I'm scrambling here to try to get set up and ready to go. I thought I had another half inning, but the Reds wouldn't let me here today.
eh,
I'm not even in the right
take it.
box here. Whew. Yeah, we got one down.
That's so much to talk about in so little time. We went from just I don't know what to say to
Yeah, I was really
let's
struggling for our
let's
J
burn
bar,
the
and
internet to the ground tonight.
now I don't even know what to put on here. What a ride!
Come on, Diaz. Come on, Diaz. Boy, we need it. Come on. Anything but a walk. Let him hit it.
You're gonna have to. Travis Jankowski ain't gonna let you off the hook. Whew.
Strikes.
And and
Strikes.
and Trace, they still haven't hit a home run. And there's somehow score. Oh gosh, what a cheap hit!
We had a
Oh,
couple cheap hits if we're being fair. Just
that
saying. That Fraley
that's
ball was
he had a good at bat though. He had a good bat, just like Travis Jankowski here. Both guys
You're
had
right.
good at
Yeah,
bats,
you put the ball
and
in
the
play,
hey,
good things happen.
you fight back in an at bat, and
Can I get a double
you
play? Is that a thing?
that would be a good time for
Is
it.
that a
In my
thing?
humble opinion, I think it would be a good time for a
Chat,
double.
we need this win. Like, I get it. It shouldn't matter, but it does.
Phew. Oh man, he's just thinking about Texas Rangers fans right now.
Oh, I want to go. I'm actually going to cue that up. I'm going to cue that up. I'm going to go straight to their Twitter page.
Yes, we need a live
I
shot
am.
of the replies to their final score if we hang on here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting it ready. Trust me.
Oh man,
I will have it ready.
they gave it to Cincinnati. These guys just got swept by the Pirates in a 4-game series. We're gonna walk all over these guys. Oh, this is a tough hitter. This is
They got a lot of good hitters. If we're being honest, they're good. They hit the ball well.
this is probably the worst matchup for Diaz, I would say, in their lineup. Just lefty righty. He's got a lot of pop.
Diaz throws that breaking ball in the backside right here. He's going to get a rollover double play. Not in the middle of the zone. Jeez Louise. I like that pitch, but you got to execute, man. That thing needs to be on the outside half or corner, ideally, and it's a double play.
Sincel extension. Oh, I love this chat, Trace.
Hi, Nixon's out. Great player. Stays healthy. Stays healthy. He's gonna be something. He's gonna be something to behold. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's worth talking about, Bronco.
We'll give Sinzel his roses tonight. He deserves it tonight.
Please, please, Please. Breaking ball, outside corner. There it is. Right down the middle again, but he missed it.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm ahead of Nick. Yes.
What is this? What is this? All right. J-Bar's got to
We don't count that. We don't do that, sir boy. We can't count outs. I'm a believer in not counting outs. We don't count outs. We just need to make it good pitches. I'll gladly admit that what's up, Zach? I'll gladly admit that that I am very superstitious, and it probably makes no bit of difference. I get it. It's in fact a really dumb thing to be, is superstitious. But I am.
No, I'm not allowed to do that. I was just doing the one more strike.
Yeah, we don't count outs. We're not counting strikes. We're just executing. We're just focusing on the next pitch. That's what we do as fans. More importantly, players. Please. Oh, please, Lord.
Hey, nice block by Tyler Stevenson.
That was. Let's give it up for Tyler.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's a big time block.
Big time. Now we're stretching the truth.
Well, I mean, you kept the runner from getting in scoring position, tying run. That was a good pitch. Oh, well, and now he's in scoring position.
Finish the drill. Come on.
I'm getting in midseason form on this score bug, though. We're rolling here.
Come on. Take your time. Run it over there. Run it over there, baby. Let's go.
We're back.
Let's go. Fire me up. Oh, baby. Life's good right now. Enjoy it. Life is good. All right. There's only one thing left to do, Nick. It's called starting the show.
Track. Hit the track. Let's jam.
Got that screen?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Here we go.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the world bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! Reds win! Line into right field. Junior, the first run ever. With 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win it. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
That's how we're going to start this show.
Let's go.
Who said that Henry Ramos wasn't a guy that could come up and mix things up a little bit?
The spark plug.
He was exactly what this team needed. We were struggling, feeling sorry for ourselves, just rooting around the clubhouse, just mingling around, thinking everything was just never going to end. And old Henry came in the building, Nick, and you know what he did? He just said, "Don't fear, Henry is here." And the next thing you know, we start winning baseball games. So you can say what you want, call it a coincidence. It's not. Mr. Ramos is that guy until he isn't. And then when he's not, we'll just bring Vossler back. That's how we're going to play it the rest of the year. Those guys are good for, maybe a week at a time. But that's here nor there. Nick, what happened? You got a lot to handle here with this box score recap, not to put pressure on you. But like I said, things were pretty lame and dry for a while, and then all of a sudden it changed in a heartbeat. Reds win 7-6. Do your best to let the people know how we did it.
All right, well, Reds fell down 6-1 in this one. Second day in a row, they were down. They were down 5-1 yesterday. But the Reds got some scoring going late. Seventh inning, Nick Senzel singled on a ground ball to left field. Henry Ramos scored. That was what made it 6-1. Then Ramos singled in the eighth on a line drive to shortstop. That made it 6-2. Nick Senzel singled, made it 6-3. Then that brought Jake Fraley to the plate, and Jake Fraley, he battled, worked the count full, and then he was able to get a double that just found a hole down the left field line to make it 6-5. And then Jonathan India, he was 0 for 4. Had struck out twice. It really looked rough all night, but he singled on a sharp line drive, made it 7-6. And then Alexis Diaz finished off the Rangers back-to-back comebacks, down 5-1 yesterday late in the game, down 6-1 today. What do you say, man? How about this? What a turnaround from Sunday to the middle of the game yesterday to the middle of the game today. Just hey, these guys are fighting, they're battling, and you love to see that.
Yeah, they're battling hard, and one thing that I promised that we were going to do, this is for the chat. I know the viewers in the morning, unfortunately, don't get to experience this at night. If you can, like I said before, if you have a little bit of energy and you can stay up a little bit late, join us on YouTube and in the chat. If you're in podcast form right now in the morning, I apologize, but I promised that we were going to do this. So without further ado, let's do it. Let's just check it out just for a second. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Things are getting bad.
Are Pirates fans talking shit on them?
It's getting bad. Let's show some replies. Tough scene out there. I don't know what to tell them.
We'll clean this up for the podcast. I might re-record a box score recap when I have 5 seconds to think about what happened.
All right, let's get into it. Why don't we? I thought they had some really, really good at bats that will probably go a little unnoticed. I am very thankful that Barrero got walked on 4 straight pitches, and that's not a slight to Jose Barrero by any stretch of the imagination. But anytime I see a guy that's throwing somewhat velocity on Barrero, I don't have a whole lot of confidence. And they walked him on 4 pitches. Nick Senzel had a really good at bat, and he did a really good job of putting the bat on the ball and just kind of battling. And Fraley did the same. And I want to bring something up because I was absolutely unbelievably pissed when they took Friedel out of the game. So if you didn't see it, Friedel was coming up to bat, obviously lefty on lefty situation. He takes Friedel out of the game, puts in the hot-hitting, sweet-swinging Will Myers, and maybe he was just playing 4D chess. Like, maybe he knew what he was doing. He was one step ahead of old man Bochy over there. And he puts in Will Myers. Will Myers then obviously gets lifted because the Rangers decide to make a move to go to a righty. He brings in
Kennedy.
He brings in Fraley, and the rest is history, baby. That's 4D chess. That's almost one of those things to where I don't believe that David Bell's that smart. And I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm not saying he's dumb. You won't be able to convince me that he knew that was coming.
Trace,
go ahead, Nick. Let's hear it.
Is it too soon to say a Reds manager finally outmanaged Bruce Bochy?
Why we got it? That's 2 nights in a row we brought up 2012. That's not nice. This isn't good. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I would
Nick,
definitely
you love. I'll tell you what. You know what? You should have your flowers tonight. You should. Oh, Mr. David Bell. He pulled it out. He dropped him right on the table. Let everybody know. I think he did it on accident, but that's here nor there.
I don't know. I mean, they know who's warming up in the bullpen. I would rather have.
In fact, I'm going to make a poll on it.
I'd rather have Friedel bat than Will Myers. You know, we've talked about Friedel has pretty good numbers against left-handed pitching, and
well, yeah, that's my point. No way you take Friedel out of the game right there, unless.
But Will Myers also has really good career numbers against left-handed pitching, so it's not
Right.
like you were. It's not like you were taking out T.J. Friedel for.
Johnny Bench has very
Stuart
good.
Fair.
Johnny Bench has good career numbers too, but we're not calling him in from Indiana to take some pinch hit at bats either, Nick.
Hey, it worked. It worked. Let's give David Bell deserves it a little bit. Come on, he's had to near some real rough starts. He's had some rough teams here. Hey, it worked tonight. What a move. What a moment in the game. And it was for Jake Fraley, he's really been struggling. So it was good to see him. He battled that at bat, and then hey, look, you fight. You make a really good pitcher. He's a solid reliever. You make him work, and you put the ball in play, and that's what happens. It was a big moment tonight for the Reds.
It was. And you know what? We got the big hit. We've been asking for the big hit. We finally got the big time hit. Jonathan India came through when it mattered the most. We shop his name around here all the time, and I don't think we've ever talked negatively about Jonathan. I think we just always have said, it's a realistic thing that they move on from him if things don't develop in the right direction. However, that was a big time play. I mean, that from a momentum standpoint, from just the belief system that has to happen in that clubhouse at some point to get things turned around, you needed something like that. And Jonathan India delivered. Say whatever you want, but that was an enormous hit, man. And it wasn't a cheap hit either. You want to talk about hitting the ball hard? He hit the ball hard. So kudos to India.
Yeah, David Bell using his whole bench tonight to get this win.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that extra catcher.
Hey, Luke Malley had a hit tonight.
No, I was facetiously saying that I'm glad we had all those guys available. Also, I do want to say there's a lot of people in the world that are just incredibly smart on Twitter. They always correct me when I'm wrong with all these damn rules that MLB has. I guess obviously at this point I can't keep clamoring for another pitcher on the roster because we have the max amount of pitchers you're allowed to have on a roster, which I say to that's just stupid. You should be able to carry whatever you want. I don't why is there a rule against that? The second thing is like, if that's the case, is there some rule that says that you have to designate what position you are before the year starts or something like that? Can you just bring a guy up as an outfielder and the next thing you know he's just happens to throw pitches in the end of games or what?
There is a rule on that. You have to have so many appearances. Because when that rule came out, Michael Lorenzen was like a player that was talked about in that, and you have to have so much of. I don't know the exact specifics, but there is something
That's
in
fair.
place to,
there's
to
not
stop that.
Yeah, it takes the loophole out, or otherwise people would be doing that all the time. All right, I don't know if you have anywhere you want to go. I know the chat. We can get into the chat a little bit here, obviously, in just a moment. Weaver did have a little bit of a situation going tonight. I didn't think he threw all that poorly. I think the Rangers are actually really good, offensively at least. Their bullpen is at least Twitter right now on the Bluebird app. Their bullpen is taking an absolute beating, and you just can't walk a guy like Barrero in that spot, if we're being completely frank. And I would also defend their bullpen in saying that we didn't hit a lot of balls hard either. So sometimes you got to hit them where they ain't, though, Nick.
Look at this beauty.
Yeah, that looks like a Chargers graph.
I was all prepared to talk about Luke Weaver and say, well, you know what? Hey, let's give this guy a chance. And then that's not story number one. Weaver got 19 swing and misses today, which if you're not familiar with that's quite a bit. I think that would have been like second most in baseball yesterday if you're looking at like the swing and miss leaderboard. So he got a lot of swing and misses. Look, he just made some mistakes. This is a guy coming back from injury. There's definitely a lot of positives I've seen from Luke Weaver. He's striking guys out, not walking a ton of guys. He continues to be an interesting guy to watch this year. I think that's maybe the best way of saying it, that he's interesting. There's definitely some upside there, but he's got to pitch better than 6 runs in 5.2 innings. No question about that. What was your kind of overall thoughts on Weaver?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's somebody that I'm going to, quote unquote, get super excited for, but I also think that he's been the guy that we've been asking for to a small extent. I mean, we were just, like I said before, we were begging our 4th and 5th starter to go out there and give us a chance, at least, at the end of these games. And I'm not saying that you giving up 6 runs is giving your team a big chance, but I do think that, at least getting out of that first inning from time to time and not having 5 or 6 runs on the board is obviously a delight. So it's a welcome change from from what we've had before. But again, I'd like to see a few more starts before I kind of make any kind of hard judgments on him. Even if he was in a position where we didn't win this game, I still kind of would like to see some more starts out of him before I make a hard decision one way or the other on what I think. But again, going back to the end of this game, the bullpen needs to get credit as well, Nick. We continue to bring this up. I don't know how long they have to pitch until we might just say that this is one of the better parts of this team. I mean, I'm going to say something wild. If they keep going at this rate, it's not going to be that much longer before I say it's the greatest strength they have. I mean, starting pitching, it's not like starting pitching's been unbelievable this year. So I know that we have guys that are front-end starters, and we think they're good, and we should think they're good. But I would also say they haven't. Some of them are struggling to get out of 3, 4, 5 innings every single night. This bullpen blew some games earlier in the year. People jumped all over their backs, but they've given us a chance the last week and a half. So shout out to the bullpen.
Yeah, Andrew brought up Diaz being, looking super impressive. I tell you, every time he's had an opportunity to come in the 9th, he's been absolutely nails. He's felt like a guy that gives the other team no chance, and that's awesome to see. But yeah, the Reds bullpen, they entered tonight with a 3.54 ERA. They pitched 3 1/3 scoreless tonight. Listen to this, Trace. The Reds bullpen wins above replacement, tied for 2nd in baseball right now. And that's a cumulative stat, and they're getting credit because they've thrown 89 innings, which was up there, towards the top. But 2nd in baseball in wins above replacement. The bullpen's pitched really, really well, and I'll say it. Nick Krall deserves a little bit of credit for piecing together a bullpen with the budget that he has that has performed this well. It's not easy to find all these guys in the scrap heap. Buck Farmer and Lucas Sims are the highest paid relievers, and I think Sims is like they're both under 2. They're both under $2 million, and they're pitching well. And I think that's a good sign that your general manager and not just your general manager, because there's a lot more guys on that and the front office that make these decisions and evaluate these guys. But the fact that you're able to piece together a competitive bullpen with the budget that he had this year, I think that's really a good sign for the future in how they evaluate players, because the Reds have to find undervalued players. Even if they increase payroll, they have to find undervalued players.
Well, they've done it so far. Now, whether or not that continues in the future is left to be determined. But to your point, I think Nick Krall has done an admirable job. Most people think that. I mean, I don't know that many people that are in tune with the Cincinnati Reds to a great degree that aren't, just automatically super pessimistic people by nature. Don't give Nick Krall a relatively positive review. I mean, it's just like the idea of us complaining about the fact that they traded Sonny Gray and Castino. Like, listen, until we know what we get out of Petty, like, let's not act like that deal wasn't good for the Reds too. Like, what happens in 2 years when this Reds team's actually really good, and then some of these pieces that you just automatically assume that we should have never traded to get are now a big cog in the wheel as far as making this team get over the proverbial hump. I do have something else I've been working on right here that I want to transition into. We're just going to make this an elite show, if you don't mind. Ready?
Let's go.
Set, go.
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. And if we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak. It has happened before. So let's see some hustle. Let's jack it up a little. I got a feeling things are about to turn around for us.
That's what I'm talking about. So just saying, don't let us get hot. Don't let us win tomorrow. Don't let us win tomorrow. Because then we go to Oakland. Don't know if you know that.
Don't let the Cincinnati Reds get hot. You don't want to do it. Texas Rangers started the fire.
The chat's all over the place tonight. They're having fun. I'm not sure if there's any substance to it. I am actually very impressed that the Twitter poll, did David Bell do the swapping hitters on purpose, has a resounding yes, 72%. It's up to 73%. I guess at this point, I will give him, what do they call that? Due diligence. That's what they use. That's what that phrase is coined for. I'll do my due diligence and say that I will just plead the fifth and maybe he did do it on purpose. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps that's the best term to use tonight. Your thoughts? You like David Bell. I mean, it is what it is. You like David Bell. I am up in the air on him. Tonight gives me another week. He's earned another week for me.
I don't want to be this guy that, we love David Bell when they win, they hate David Bell when they lose. Like, it's always somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I have a cool stat for you that our guy Joel Luckup just tweeted out.
Please share it.
This is the first time the Reds have overcome 4+ runs deficit in consecutive games since April of 2006. How about that? I mean, they get swept in a 4-game series at Pittsburgh. It feels like this is rock bottom. They're playing a red-hot Texas Rangers team. I think they were second in baseball in run differential, only behind the mighty Tampa Bay Rays, who are off to one of the greatest historic starts in baseball, and the Reds, these guys fight back, and they did it without hitting a home run. I don't even know how it's possible to go this many games without hitting a home run in this ballpark. You saw it with Luke Weaver tonight. Right. Like, you have a balls. There's, you have that one home run that was like almost a complete accident. But they're finding ways. They had a lot of good competitive at bats late in this game when it would have been very easy to just say, hey, look, it's not our night. We'll try to win the series tomorrow. So, yeah, man, what a fun night. What an unexpected night too.
Well, it felt like these were the games that we never got to experience, right? Like, this is what happened to us. It doesn't happen for us. There was, I don't want to say never, but it really felt like when I was watching this game, we got down 6 runs, and it just felt like there was no chance. I mean, there was no chance. There's no chance this offense. In fact, I almost tweeted out and to make a quick joke about Barry. Barry up in the booth had mentioned Derek Law coming in the game, and he said, this isn't really a mop-up situation for Derek Law. The Reds are still in this game. And I almost just tweeted and said, has Barry seen this offense? I mean, is this offense capable of scoring 6 runs in a few innings? I don't know. I didn't think that they were. Turns out they scored more than 6, so good for them.
Yeah, just piecing it together with, good at-bat after good at-bat, grinding it out. And, yeah. Just say.
Well, Casey's saying this team's learning how to win. I wouldn't take it that far yet. But I would say this is a step in the right direction. Direction.
And it's just part of a baseball season where it swings one way and it swings the other. You had some of these losses last week, and the comments were, these guys aren't even trying. They were probably trying. It just didn't happen. A couple of those nights.
Chris brings up a good point. He just said the law of averages is finally coming around for the Redlegs when it comes to these 1-run games. 2 wins in a row off 1 run. So
That's a great point.
yeah. So I mean, it's true. It felt like we were never going to find a way to win these games. And when you play 162 games, usually the water finds its level, doesn't it? That's what you keep banking on for Will Myers. I know what you're doing. You're a seasoned veteran. You understand how long the season is. You get how this all works.
Wheels are turning.
Will Myers is water finds its level kind of guy. Maybe it'll all work itself out. Joey Votto's had seasons like that in the past where you're like, dude, he's hitting terrible. And the next thing you know, Joey Votto for the next month and a half hits 650 and gets on base 80% of the time. So power outage, though, that's a part of the rundown. Let's talk about that for a minute. This is starting to get actually kind of comical at this point. It's kind of funny that we have 9 grown men that step up to the plate every night, and nobody's just gotten lucky and ran into a ball and hit one out of the ballpark, especially when you consider the fact that we play in a very, very hitter-friendly ballpark as well. I know we've been on the road a little bit, but still, it's just I tell you, I think it's a little bad luck at this point. Like, they're not this power deficient. It's just will water find its level on this too, Nick, where one game we just hit 9 home runs?
Yeah, I think so. I like this team, obviously, power was not going to be this team's strong suit, at least not at the start of the season. I think when Ellie De La Cruz and Christian Encarnacion Strand gets here, you're going to see a few more balls get out. Matt McClain, he keeps showing that his upside with power that we didn't really think was there. He hit an absolute missile tonight. We'll talk about in a second. Trace Red's leader in home runs, still Jason Fossler with 3. No one else has hit 3 yet.
They sabotaged Vossler. That's what they did. They sabotaged him.
But you look at a couple of these guys, a couple of the guys that we're thinking 20, 25, maybe 30 if they have a really good year. But Will Myers has 2. Those came in the same game. Jonathan India only has 1. I mean, he's over 100 at-bats at this point. Jake Fraley only has 1. Jose Barrero only has 1. And that's a guy that you were hoping could tap into some of that power he showed at AAA. So, I mean, I think it's a concern that there's this little power in a ballpark that should deliver some of that. But I think it will also even out at some point too. So, while maybe it is somewhat a product of their lack of power ability, it also is kind of just random variance. I wouldn't say bad luck. It's just hasn't happened yet. And I think they'll have a couple games where you see it kind of level out a little bit.
Yeah, it reminds me of when everyone always tells when there's a story that's told and everyone says, well, there's, my story, your story, and the truth. I feel like we're somewhere between the two of these. There's the truth somewhere in the middle between them being unlucky, them just not being able to find a way to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and them being a team that literally probably can't hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's somewhere right down the middle with that. In regards to exit velocity tonight, you want to take a guess on who that was? You probably know. Does the chat want to take? Let's make that. Chat, you want to guess on who the top exit velocity guy was?
I saw it earlier. Is it? Oh, I'll wait.
Yeah, let's let the chat have some fun. Who do we think it is, chat? Who do we think it is for the Cincinnati Reds top exit velocity? Can't cheat. Cheaters won't prosper.
Let's shout out Dalton, longtime podcast listener, first time stream visitor. Let's go. What a game. Thank you, Dalton. Appreciate you listening every morning, and nice to have you here tonight with us.
Awesome. Also, do us a favor, please, right now. This chat is absurdly ridiculous. Please like the stream. Please like the stream right now. Let's see if we can't break the record for how many people watch this show. Why not? Let's just like that stream. Get it up. Invite a friend. Tell them to come on. Here is your answer. Ready? Break. What about that? What about that guy? Let's say maybe we should keep 3 catchers around after all. Been saying it all along, Nick. Those guys are important.
You've been the leader of the ship in that department. No question about it.
No doubt about it. Well, let's let me transition a little bit into this Reds MILB. I don't want you to go through the rundown quite yet, but I do want to say the McLean fandom is out in full force. Everyone, it seems like, is all over the fact this guy has to be up here. He's got to be up here. He should be up here now. He should have been up here yesterday. I am not saying those people are 100% wrong. In fact, if you go back and you rewind the tape and you watch some of the first shows that we had when we started doing this, Nick, I am in, I don't want to say that. That's probably the wrong thing to say. I like McLean a lot. I was going to venture to say that I loved him, but I don't know if I should give him that much praise yet. I just think that he looks like a polished hitter. I think he looks like a guy that belongs at the plate when he faced big leaguers, and I'd like to think that he will continue the success he's had at the AAA level, although, albeit short. I do think he'll do it at the major league level. The one thing that I would hesitate to do, or hesitate to lean on here, Nick, and you've heard me say this multiple times now, is I really am of the belief system that these guys need to continue to get reps at the position in which the major league club feels like they're going to play at the start of opening day next year. And Elly De La Cruz is the shortstop. And we're not moving him to center field. We're not touching Elly De La Cruz. Don't touch it.
I think we often think that there's this perfect time to call up a player. And I think we don't give enough credence to it's a crapshoot. When you call these guys up, you have no idea if they're ready or not. I think there's good, valid reasons to call it Matt McLean. I feel like I would love to. I feel like the people. I don't want to be disrespectful here. I'm trying to be nice, but I feel like I would like some of the people that watched Matt McLean at least 50 at bats last year kind of give their input on this. Because we're making it on Twitter highlights of 3 weeks of the season. And he looked great. He's looked great. He has an OPS over 1,000 right now. I think his development has been such a bright spot for the organization so far this year. But are you going to call it Matt McLean? And then what's our opinion going to be in 2 weeks if he starts 2 for 20? Then we're,
Right. I want to bring this up really fast, Nick, because this kind of follows your point. Jordan Walker right now sitting for the 4th time in the past 7 games for the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if you know this or not, but the St. Louis Cardinals aren't playing good baseball at this moment. So it's not like there's not an opportunity that's sitting there for him. Now, whether or not this specific instance is 100% an apples-to-apples comparison, I don't think it is. However, I do think it breeds the idea that there is the opportunity to where if he does come up and he does struggle, what does that look like? How do we handle that? I'm not totally out on the idea of letting Barrero continue to get reliable reps too, because there's already a logjam here, right? I mean, there's already a logjam. You bring up McLean, where's he going to play? He plays shortstop? Okay, well, if he plays shortstop, inevitably, I guess you got to send Barrero to the outfield, and then at that point, is that really the best for this team? I don't think that it is. I'm with you, Nick. I think I would prefer to actually just say, let's bring all these guys up together when the time makes the most sense, and that's later this year. And, it's Mr. May McLean anyways for a reason. Now, I'm also starting to believe that it actually should be later than May. But, again, I get why the chat, and I get why also everybody on social media and Reds fandom wants McLean to come up because it's for selfish reasons. Let's be honest. We want to see him play in a big league uniform, and we don't want to actually have to log on to MILB TV or look at highlight clips of McLean when he's playing for the Louisville Bats. So I know he hit a bomb tonight. I'll let you kind of lead off with whatever you'd like to lead off with, but I know that I did see a highlight of Matt McLean, laying into one. I think it was like 440 440 or 430 some odd feet.
It was a bomb. At one point tonight, all 5 Reds teams, including the big league team, were winning, and then had a couple fall off here at the end. But the big league club got it done. Let's start off with the ones that are final. Dayton, they lost 6-5 to Lake County. Lake County scored 5 runs in the 7th and 8th innings. Edwin Arroyo did have a double in the game, so that was pretty much the positive from that game. Daytona, they also blew it late. They lost 5-4 to Fort Wayne. They allowed 4 runs in the 8th and the 9th. A couple good things in this one. Cam Collier had 2 hits tonight, and Sal Stewart walked 3 times in this game. So some good individual stuff from that. Fortunately, that team's now 6-10. Kind of disappointing there. Chattanooga, they are leading 4-3 over Rocket City in the top of the 9th. In this game, Lyon Richardson made his Double-A debut. This is a guy that seems to be getting fast-tracked through the Reds organization, throws really hard, was a former top-round pick that had been out with injury. Really great outing. Only allowed 1 hit, no runs over 3 innings. Noelvi Marte also picked up a hit and also had a sac fly that I saw in this one. And then Louisville, they're leading 6-4. We mentioned Matt McLean. He's just having a monster night, 2 for 3 with the walk. Like I said, OPS 1,057 right now. Ellie De La Cruz, he's struggling, just hitting 059 so far to start this year. Did show off his speed early in this game where he reached on a fielder's choice and then stole second base easily. His speed's something that sticks out. Christian Encarnacion was trying 0 for 3, but did have a walk, and it was a really good walk. Actually, was dialed in a little bit to that plate appearance. It was against the Cubs starting pitcher, Javier Assad, a guy that pitched in the big leagues last year. So you're seeing a good caliber pitcher, at least, guy that had some success last year. Really nice walk that he drew in the game. And then this, maybe I'm going to leave you on this tonight for Reds MILB talk. Will Benson, 3 walks tonight. There you go, Will. Have yourself a night. Great to see from Mr. Will Benson.
Good for Will. Will, similar to Mr. Vossler, they needed to get the vibes back a little bit. All right. Anything other than obviously the fact of starting pitchers for tomorrow that you want to add before we get to that?
Just make sure, like I said, Nick Senzel 3 hits tonight. Really good to see him. I'd like to see Nick Senzel get an extra base hit this year. He only has 1 so far. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, but nice night for him. Really good to see. And then Henry Ramos, 2 for 4, had quality at-bats. Every at-bat I feel like I've watched him has been a quality at-bat so far. So, yeah, he's been just a nice addition. And, whoever called him coming up on Sunday, kudos to them. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I don't know who it was either. I listened to a lot of content. I didn't hear anybody say that. I mean, as far as getaway day for the Rangers, they are in a situation where they need to win this game. They absolutely need to win this game. The problem is they got the old graham cracker throwing. So best of luck to them.
Ooh, graham cracker. That's a good one. All right, give me a second here. I actually put some notes together on this. John Gray, 2 starts ago, left the game after getting hit on a line drive on the arm. And then his next start after that was against those mighty Oakland A's. And John Gray walked 5 batters. So against a lineup that showed some patience tonight, John, you better throw some strikes. Or these boys, they're hot right now. Gray, a career 3.94 ERA in 5 starts against the Reds. Last start was in 2019. But only 1 start in his career at GABP. That was all the way back in 2018. 3 runs allowed in 5 innings pitched. And Will Myers, 3 career home runs and over a 1,000 career OPS against Gray in 42 at-bats. And, of course, we know about Graham Ashcraft, just an incredible start to the season. Never faced anyone on the Rangers, so this will be a lineup that is completely new to him. 4.82 ERA in 2 starts against American League teams last year.
Over under attendance tomorrow at Great American Ballpark. 10,000.
What's the weather tomorrow? I don't follow it
It's
as close
cold.
because we got 62. 62.
Man, I don't know. Actually, 62 has been very good comparatively speaking to where we've been the last few days. So 10,000. I'm going to leave it at 10,000.
OJ Bronco's giving it to me tonight, man. I love it. Appreciate you, OJ.
Yeah, OJ. Boy, I tell you what.
I need humbled from time to time. So, OJ, I appreciate you keeping me on my toes.
All right. I know what everybody wants to see, and I am glad and I am grateful that you enjoy this. I got to come up with some more solutions on exactly what this dunk looks like. But luckily, my athleticism, I think, will answer the bell. I think it's one of those situations where I'm going to do my same thing I always do. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you about some stuff that we do on a daily basis. One is Chatterbox Reds. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's a podcast that comes out every single morning. You can download it. You can rate it. You can give it a review. But more importantly, and I'm being relatively serious for the first time in a long time on this show, tell somebody about what we're doing here. Let's just continue to bring this chat up and away. Just like you're about to see your old boy right here go up and away. I don't know if I should touch the ceiling, which I'm not saying that is a huge accomplishment, but that's nonetheless. Off the bench tomorrow with Tom Brenneman. Nick, it's time. Best. If we're being honest, that was average at best. Tomorrow, we'll come up with something new. But as always, I can't tell you enough. Tell somebody about this show. That's all you gotta do. Tell somebody. They might not want to watch it. Who cares? All right? Just like, those people that knock on doors, Jehovah's Witnesses? That's what you need to do for this show. That's the expectation. Take care of yourselves. Nick, put the graphic up.